Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me is the PC muscle race, LeRon Dawkins.
What's poppin'?
The wise Wisconsinite, Mr. Jesse Douglas.
How's it going, everyone?
The Colonel himself, Colonel Panic Joe Wilson.
How are you?
That's my real voice.
Master Chief is calling. He wants his deep voice back. Yeah.
Well, too late.
And finally, joining us, special guest from EXPCast is Pat.
Hi.
Hi, Pat.
I'm also a Wisconsinite.
Ooh.
We're going to take over the show.
I just want you and Jesse to fight with spray cheese. See what happens.
How much are you paying for us?
Why waste the beautiful cheese?
I mean, it's spray cheese.
Okay,
Spray cheese. I don't know if that counts.
No.
Hold on.
Although a Philly cheesesteak I've heard is better with Cheese Whiz than it is anything else. So.
Yeah. When I went, it was recommended to me that I get. They said whiz and onions is how you say it.
Yep.
I'm like,
yep.
That sounds terrible, but then you eat it and you're like, I should just be eating this on the toilet because I'm feeling it going right through me right now. All that grease and that fake cheese and it was good. It was good. I'm just saying.
I love a good Philly cheesesteak, and I actually I had one for the first time like last year.
Like a real Philly cheesesteak?
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
I was about to say, you're new to this?
It happens.
I just never tried it.
Yeah.
Now,
These
get a real
segments
Philly cheesesteak is at Philly.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like it's like the equivalent of going to New York and getting pizza. Like, it's just the best. It's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. By the way, speaking of pizza, Pat, we're going to get to you in a minute. But speaking of pizza, ever since we went to New York, I have not had pizza that is as good as New York pizza until there's a place by my house called Mr. G's, and they have New York style pizza that tastes almost identical to New York pizza. And I'm like, thank Jesus Christ, except it costs like $20 a pizza.
Oh,
Yikes.
That's actually weird because we used to have a place literally called Mr. G's. And it was a pizza place, and yeah, their pizzas were super expensive, but it closed a couple of years ago and just like disappeared from. Like, I wonder if it literally is the same. What is their logo? Like, what is their logo?
It's just like this weird cursive writing.
Okay. Because ours like almost looked like the Green Bay Packers symbol, but it was red instead of green.
Yeah, it's not that.
And
it's
then
green.
It's
green cursive writing. It literally just says Mr. G's Pizzeria.
Anytime I hear someone like you saying Mr. G, I instantly think of that House of the Dead video game with G-Man.
Oh yeah.
like that was like some sort. He's like G-Man. Reload. Reload.
And then you get the light gun that doesn't work.
Oh, that game is either fun or really pisses you off. Sometimes both.
Yeah.
But still, like if I could pick a arcade game I'd love to have in my house, it would be like a Time Crisis or something like one of those kind of games like that. I'd love to have one of those, especially now just because you can't do it on new TVs anymore.
Yeah.
Like you literally have to get like for me, the kids their first games was playing Duck Hunt, on a CRT.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there's literally
that's the only way you can do it now.
I mean, there's literally a light gun modding scene out there where they actually mod light guns to work on modern TVs, and it's kind of fascinating if you look it up. I actually heard it on Giant Bomb a couple weeks ago. They were talking about it, and I went in and looked at it. I'm like, man, this is fascinating and way too smart for me to be looking at because I don't know what's happening. There's a lot of soldering and taking things apart and putting it back together, and no, I need my things built and ready to go when I get it. I'm like, I'm stupid.
Yeah,
that's why I don't have a PC.
basically now you just have to have VR for something like that. But
if I could pick one arcade game, I would probably get that old school Atari Star Wars game.
Ooh, the Vector one?
The Vector
Ooh.
one. Because, like, that display, to this day, because I played it 2 years ago, like, on a Vector display, it is so good looking. It is so crisp.
Tomb Raider.
That's something you can't experience, like, anywhere else other than, like, the arcade.
Yeah.
They don't. Ah, man. I guess an OLED would be the closest thing, but I don't even think an OLED is like that bright.
Yeah.
The Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider one and the Halo one that are at Dave & Buster's, those are freaking amazing too.
Man,
like the Tomb Raider one looks awesome.
The Halo one is fun. I wish it was more fun.
Yeah.
But it is fun.
Yeah.
I wish it was more fun.
I wish it was more fun. Like,
official review from Joe.
I wish it was more fun. I mean, I like it because it's if it wasn't Halo, I would be like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
yeah.
that's how good it is.
It's essentially the Jurassic Park one, but it's
I do like the Jurassic Park one.
Yeah, that's
but
a good
again,
one.
Yeah.
if you remove the Jurassic Park from it,
Yeah. Yep.
I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now that we're done with that, Pat,
Hi.
you are part of the EXPcast. You want to tell everybody about that real quick before we get into some other things here?
Sure. I am one of the co-hosts of the EXPcast. It is coincidentally a podcast that talks about video games and other random shit.
You know, there's not enough of those out there.
Yeah. You know what? The world needs more video game podcasts. They're just fun.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, it's you guys have a lot of fun. I've been listening lately, and I think that's the thing though. Like, it doesn't matter how many of a podcasts are out there. It's all about the personality, honestly, that people come.
It's amazing. There's 4 of us, and we all play something different. So, like, it just fits. Like, I'm the RPG guy. Stoy's action. Josh is retro. Dan plays the weirdest shit that you never thought to ever play. It's great.
He seems like he plays like the semi-pornographic visual novels that are always on sale on Switch.
Actually, that's Stoy.
Oh, well, maybe they play together. Maybe like, oh, who did you pick? Did you pick this creepy teenage girl that doesn't have her clothes on? No, I picked this other one.
Dan's a big Senran Kagura fan.
Yeah. Good thing they got that
What's with the bottom of the underwear showing all the time? Does anyone ever explain that? Just a little bit. It's like just like a strip of white.
It's a tease,
look at that.
Joe.
And that exotic.
Yes.
What was that game? What was that game that Vita game that literally came with a pair of girls' underwear to clean your screen?
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was like
I
a
know-
screen
I know
cleaner, but it looked like girls' panties.
Oh,
It was
God.
like,
Oh god, I bet if we ask Austin, he would know.
ask him, text him, be like, Austin,
He's got a couple of copies of it.
add him to the call real quick. We'll be like, Austin, we only need you for like 5 minutes, but we need you to explain why you clean your Vita with a pair of panties.
Does that take 5 minutes? We really only need him for about 30 seconds.
No, I remember getting the special edition of Catherine when it originally came out, and it came with a pair of boxer shorts.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was awesome.
Cleaning your screen?
You can if you want. They
Okay.
weren't really my size to wear, so
Too big or too small?
too small.
Okay.
I'm a big boy.
I mean, like, normally, though, when they give stuff away, they're like what size? They'd be like, I don't know, like, big as they can make.
Yeah, the one size fits all.
Right.
That they always
Or-
give you.
Or it's
Not
in a
in-
package that's like 1 inch by 1 inch, and you have to soak it in water before it's like paper thin and it all unfolds, and it's all
Yeah.
wrinkled forever.
Like those water capsules you
Yeah.
get where they turn
Right.
into
Right. Turn into
Wow.
nothing, about a piece of paper with an image printed on it.
Wow.
Austin isn't responding. I wonder if his wife saw the message.
He's playing the game right now.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
He's finishing, if you know what I mean.
They figured me out.
He has
Oh,
one of those Billy Madison closets in his room.
right. Joe, your camera went out, by the way.
My camera went out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just have a big S for Skype now on the podcast. Looks great.
Let me see.
It's great. And everything.
I
Oh, no. Now Pat looks
What
like
happened?
he's like taking up the whole screen. Ah, man. Man, why does this always happen? You know, it's just like, you know,
Technology just
I know.
doesn't
benefits
like to
of
work.
going live.
Yeah.
We'll see if I can get my camera back, but there is a good chance that if it's out, I'd have to restart to get it back up.
Oh, no.
And just,
You know, I mean, if you want to do that, I don't care. Whatever you feel like, Joe.
all right, let me do this. Let me check.
So we had a Boss Rush Banter this week. We didn't have any really ready to publish this week until about 2 hours ago. So it was, does Switch need a virtual console? But now we changed it, and it's gaming tattoos.
Gaming tattoos?
Yeah, and if you were to get one, what would it be?
Oh.
Besides, you know, no signal. Oh, no. Besides LeRon literally just tattooing the N7 logo on his forehead. Which, by the way, side tangent, LeRon.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you
You bought
playing
the
it?
game last night.
I did, but that's not the point. Joe's back.
Uh-huh.
I'm good.
Good to see you.
Hi.
Why are you playing as generic Shepherd? You upset
What?
me last night.
What?
2 nights
you know
ago.
what? You know what? I've explained this time and time again. Like, Monster Hunter was the first game that I broke that rule for.
You're the worst.
Monster Hunter Rise.
No.
I
Character
I
creators
explained-
are meant to be explored, and you either make an awesome looking character or the most ridiculous, ugly looking character.
Actually, no. I take that back. Cyberpunk was the first game that I broke that rule on because I am all about default character. Let's get into the game. I want to play the game, not sitting here and like figure out penis size and whether the guy
Why, you
guys
just
have like
picked
the
the biggest
hairiest
I did.
like.
How's the grooming down under? Did you
Well,
pick
like
the little kitty cat?
I was just about to say it has the hairiest body like known to existence
I
and whatnot.
had a little heart.
I'm waiting
Yes.
for the app companion that lets me just take a picture of me and then be like, it creates one as close
Yeah.
to me as possible with the
Facsimile,
settings.
yeah.
That would be awesome.
That's the other thing too. Like I don't know. Like I'm not a generic looking person, so I can't ever make somebody a game character look like myself. And I'm also one of those weird people that depending on what time of day, I'll walk past myself in the mirror and be like, I am fucking ugly.
That's why you cover up all the mirror with sheets. Or you fucking live in Grey Gardens or some sort of mansion that's got water running through the middle of it.
Now,
Are you?
when you guys play as a character, do you play as a woman or a man? I don't even want to look at the chat. I'm concerned.
No. It's not. No, it's not the chat. Austin answered me what game it was. I knew he would know.
God, I don't.
The game was called Galgun Double Piece.
Oh, Galgun.
that classic.
All right, I'm gonna go on eBay and see if any of these are for sale and what they look like and how expensive they are.
We should
Okay.
add that as a segment to either Boss Rush After Dark or even this show. No, Boss Rush After Dark. Just dramatic
Well,
readings of the descriptions of these visual
of
novels.
Kirby games.
Yeah.
And then if we can find a new copy sealed, we can do an unboxing.
Oh God. Hope it doesn't come out sticky.
And yeah,
Or if it's new.
Well,
Used,
if it's
slightly
new,
used.
but-
Don't look up slightly used copies, Joe.
All right. So
None of
Only
these
you-
are slightly used has no results.
Only used
So
once.
going back to
Greatly used is there's a lot.
Only used
So
once.
going back to your question about do you play as a guy or a girl in video games? For the longest time, I used to play as a female in video games. And when the first Monster Hunter was out, me and my roommate, we played, and we both picked female characters because Monster Hunter has this weird thing where women's armor and stuff actually looks much better than men's armor. It's like shit. Like I want to wear that shit. So make yourself a girl character and go with it. So playing online, people are always like, well, she this, she that. So I was like, okay, fine. Like, like I'm a girl in real life, and didn't think anything of it. Like we had a squad that we played with, right? And so like we both were just getting into character with our female characters and stuff. So like we're acting like girls, like we're girls in real life on the other end of the freaking internet, and we're talking to these dudes and everything. So this is what broke me from doing that. Like, this one guy that we were playing with all the time on Monster and late at night and stuff, he was talking to me, and all of a sudden it got to the whole like, I'm gonna fly out from California to Virginia to see you. And at that point right there, I was like, oh. Whoa. At that point right there, I was like, okay, it's time to end this. That was the final game where I played as a female character. That's the final game.
See, Nintendo, personal. This is why you need a voice chat, so these mistakes don't happen.
You know what? Nintendo needs so many other things. Can I get a way to have multiplayer games with someone outside of sharing like a really long, stupid code? Like, come on.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, just a real friends list in general, like an actual way to, give us some kind of option to be able to do things that friends would do.
To be fair, it was incredibly easy to invite them to the Mario Party online session.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked just like the Xbox does, but I mean, like it should.
Anybody has a tattoo of like a QR code of their Nintendo, what do they call it, friend ID or something?
It's your Nintendo friend code, Joe.
Friend code. You can just have like a QR code and be like, "Oh, here, add me."
Nintendo's not that advanced, dude. They still have like a one of those 9 character type in things instead of like a full keyboard sometimes. So.
Not for me. Not for me.
I love my Switch, but jeez. Wow, does it feel archaic sometimes?
The one thing I would honestly want to have tattooed on my body from a video game is y'all remember the game Vagrant Story for PS1?
Yeah.
That freaking, it was called the Rude Inverse, that thing that was on Home Dude's back. Like, yeah. I would get that shit all over my back. I would, but then my mom would think I had sold my soul to Satan or something when she sees it for the first time.
So, have you guys ever used Inkbox?
No.
So Inkbox is a temporary tattoo, but it's a more semi-permanent temporary tattoo.
Oh, really?
You can upload your own image. I think they're all black and white. You can create your own, and they send you this thing, and you have to it looks like a nicotine patch that you put wherever it is, and you have to keep it there for like an hour, and then it actually transfers like a pretty large chunk of ink, and then it develops. So like over the next 24 hours, it'll get darker and darker, and then it fades away after about a month. The reason why I know about this is because I feel like I'm one of those people that I feel like I should have a tattoo, but I don't care about anything strongly enough to be like, that's my tattoo. That's the one that I want permanently on my body.
Not even your Halo tag thing.
So what's funny is that's what I got a Halo tattoo from Inkbox made, and I put it on to be like, I'm gonna try this out and see if a tattoo's for me. I don't think it is. I don't think a tattoo's for me, but I did have a temporary. I had just got the legendary, the elite skull with the thing to be like, let me just try this on for size. And of course, my whole family's like, Joey got a tattoo. Did you see Joey's tattoo? Like, it's fake. It's a fake tattoo, you fucking gossipers. I'm right here. I can hear you whispering. Really annoying.
Is there another Joey in our family?
Look at that.
I'm on their website right now. I'm intrigued.
They have a couple good ones. They have the pre-made ones. They have a Triforce, I think, and a couple generic video game ones. But you can upload any picture and make one. So.
Yeah.
And how much does it cost? How much does
it's not. I think I spent maybe maybe like 15
it depends on size. It depends on size. Okay.
Yeah. It's not for what it's worth. For you to try out something that's feels like you have a tattoo to see if you feel like a better individual, or I don't know what it makes you feel. I don't know what the positive version is because I didn't feel it. So.
Yeah. More recently, actually, for me, I thought about it would be kind of fun to do a cool Triforce one, but then have the initial of my kids one of each in each triangle, and then my wife's initial. So have like the two kids and the wife's initials to make the Triforce. Like just to make it have some kind of like meaning behind it, but also be something cool that I like. I actually had been kind of like trying to like make my own stuff and edit one and just because I'm really fortunate. If I ever want to get a tattoo, my sister's fiance is a tattoo artist, and all I have to pay him is what I would give him for a tip. So like I couldn't get it, anything. He's done all of mine, some of them for free because he was just starting out and stuff. But
I'm surprised you don't have a Ghostbusters one.
I know I've honestly thought about that too, like the Ghostbusters, because like like Ghostbusters for me is. Like, I love the Turtles too from, like growing up in the 80s, but for me, Ghostbusters was always like my favorite. Like I have the whole collection of the real Ghostbusters series and everything. Like like they just started re-releasing the original real Ghostbusters figures, and I've been collecting them as they come out and keeping them in the box. I got some of them behind me. But yeah, the Ecto one is supposed to come out at some point this year, so I'm gonna make sure to get that too. So, but yeah, because but Ghostbusters would be cool too.
Yeah.
Which I just wish we could get a good Ghostbusters game. That last one was okay, but I'll be honest, I want one in VR. I want a VR Ghostbusters game.
Did you see that? It was like 2 years ago now. But there was a Ghostbusters pop-up thing that was happening with VR, where it was like one of those augmented spaces where you would wear the VR headset in the backpack, but you would like actually walk through a physical space.
Oh yeah, it was like it was almost like those roller coasters that you put the VR headset on, but it was like an escape room almost.
Right.
Yeah, I had heard. Yeah, I had heard about it a little bit, but yeah,
that's cool.
I don't remember if any of them came close by. The closest they'd probably come would be like Chicago or something.
I think it was around the time that they were starting the hype engine for the new movie, like pre-COVID and then COVID, and they're like, let's just back off everything.
Yeah, I'm still really looking forward to that movie. I know you don't really get much of a feel for it quite yet. I don't think. From some of the trailers we've got, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm just glad that it's kind of based around the originals. Not that I didn't like the one with the all girl cast. Honestly, I thought it was a good movie. Like, I didn't really have any issues with it at all. And they had a great cast of women like that. Just that were funny as hell. I thought, but.
I thought about getting the Destiny Tricorn logo at one point. I also thought about doing a bunch of other things and I never did. And then at one point I was just like, I don't know, maybe like 31, 32 is too old to start getting tattoos. That's something you start when you're in like high school or something. It's just like, I feel like it's a little too, unless I got like the generic, I got my kid's name on my shoulder blade type one. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like my start time has passed for that.
Yeah.
I think if I had... go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I feel like if I'm going to give advice to anybody when they're younger, before you get married, you should get the prenup tattooed on you, and then you can sign on it. Like, no, it's right here. Be a good one. That'd be pretty painful.
Permanent.
Both ways, physically and probably emotionally.
Yeah.
It's all the same at some point, right?
Yeah.
Pain.
Pain.
Without love, pain.
Wow.
As much as I would love to have like the Yakuza tattoo from like, Yakuza, that would, I obviously would probably get my ass kicked if someone ever saw that. But I would get the lion head symbol from Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh, okay, yeah. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool. Yeah, that's.
At first, I thought you were going to say, I just have this extreme love for Fable, and I'm going to get the lion head logo.
You know what? I want Peter's face,
Yeah, Peter Molyneux. I
tattooed
want his
right-
brown, bald,
right down
English
in my lower
face.
back.
Oh.
Yeah. That's how much I love it.
Hmm.
No. I just think it'd be cool. It looks nice, and Squall was actually a pretty fun character. Like, he came off as one of those people who just didn't want to care, but you knew deep down he cared. He had a solid gold heart.
He was the handsomest boy in the room.
Oh yeah.
So, anybody else got any other fun answers for that?
I mean,
No.
obviously, I've thought about like even just like the Xbox logo like kind of thing too, but
Yeah.
that I just couldn't really do that.
Oh, I feel
Although
like
I have a monster logo, so like I mean,
you should now get a logo from every failed console and then just have it like scratched off,
Oh,
like a Dreamcast logo.
Whoa, that wasn't
Sega
a failure.
Saturn
That was
logo.
just
Sega Saturn.
that was just short-lived
Yeah.
fun.
3DO. It's like I'm gonna get it right sometime.
the Jaguar.
Jaguar.
And the Stadia.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that should be the last one. That's the one that's not crossed
Yeah.
off as Google Stadia. They're like,
Yeah.
I'm all in.
and then
Here we go.
yeah. What's that Amazon one that they're doing too?
Luna.
Yeah.
I know because they sent me a kit. I have a controller somewhere. Never. I got an email reminder like, "Hey, just so you know, we got that free thing going on for you if you want to ever try it." I'm like,
Wait
maybe,
a minute.
maybe.
Does that mean I have to tattoo the Soulja Boy console on me too?
Yep. Yeah.
All of them.
And the Ouya.
well.
Hmm.
You could look at that two ways. It could be like you have really bad judgment at what good consoles are, or it's like your hit list, being like this one's gonna be wiped out, and then you
Yeah,
cross it off when it's done.
I'm
Wow.
the personal reason this one
Right.
failed.
Right.
Jesus
I did it.
Christ. Oh my gosh. Okay, before we get any further down that rabbit hole, this is the Boss Rush Podcast, the flagship show of the Boss Rush Network, where each and every week we get together with our friends from around the internet to talk about video games and everything we love about them. You can catch the show live on twitch.tv/Boss Rush Games Live on Sunday nights now, or the next day on podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other apps, as well as our YouTube channel. Please leave a nice 5-star review and a nice comment on iTunes if you listen there. It'd be real nice of you. If you're thinking about leaving anything else, just don't. Just move on. You can email the show at bossrushnetwork@gmail.com and follow us on Twitter at Boss Rush Network. Join our Discord and our Facebook group to join our awesome communities, and check out our network where we have a bunch of other friends that do cool stuff on the internet. So, yeah. Anyways, it's time to start with Greg Osterman's question, as we always do. He tagged 3 emails in this, just in case we didn't get them.
He wants to make sure we answer his food question.
I know.
I
know.
I'm proud of him.
He should just come on. Like, if we ever have a food show, he should just host. Let's be honest.
He can be the moderator.
You should have like a virtual cooking competition.
Yeah.
Like you have to like
No, because then Logan's gonna bring banana peels and brownies and Kool-Aid and we look.
He posted something the other day where
Jello with pickles in it.
yeah.
Hmm.
No.
You.
Well, they were talking about on their show about like whether cereal was a soup.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
we've done that before.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
comes up on a show that I listen to quite often, and I'm just like, no, it's
Oh,
not a
does it?
soup. It's
Yeah,
cereal.
Well,
It's its
I
own
said
category.
I said, when are you guys gonna make cream of Fruity Loops?
Oh. Oh.
What Why did you go there?
Can we move on now?
Yeah.
Let's not even ask the food question. I'm sorry. You just broke the show. I'm sorry.
Oh, he says, "Hey bosses, let me say that I hope you all had a great weekend. The shows are the highlight of my week, and I'll always be a fan. Another food for thought question for you. What is your favorite thing to actually cook? How fancy do you get? Thanks for all you do, Greg." Thanks, Greg. We appreciate your food questions. We appreciate you as a human being, I think, unless you're like a secret serial killer, then...
Well, I think
I mean, I
appreciate the
Fruity
questions.
Loops did.
Yeah. To be fair, I enjoyed Dexter, so...
Yeah.
Till the last season. That was bad. It's coming back.
From what I heard, just the last episode was
No, the whole last season's just...
Oh,
yeah.
is it?
Anyways, food. Who likes to cook food here?
I do.
I do. I do.
Tell me, Joe.
Every Friday, I make a pizza. I don't make my own sauce, but it's dough that I usually do like a bulk thing, have it in the freezer. So I take one out Friday morning, let it rise throughout the day, do my dough. I get some fresh mozz, rip it up, throw it on there, cook it in the oven with some basil and olive oil and salt on top. When it comes out, I do some fresh grated Parmesan while it's still hot so it melts fresh.
Nice.
And I eat the whole goddamn pizza.
That's fair.
My wife has 2 to 3 slices of it, and every weekend I'm like, I'm not going to eat this whole pizza. And every weekend I eat the whole pizza, whatever's left. I think it's delicious. I think my pizza is my favorite pizza to eat. And I don't know if that's like arrogant or not. I'm kind of proud that my favorite pizza is my pizza.
I mean, that's good though, right? Like, that means you make good pizza because there's a lot of decent pizza places around everywhere, right? So.
Right. And I've had several favorite local pizza places, and then as soon as I make mine, now when I get pizza out, I'm like, yeah, it's still kind of, if I would make one, I would rather eat my pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I think part of that though too is when you go to a pizza place, you're telling them what you want on it, and instead you're going to kind of get to control what how good the product is. But now, do you have an actual basil plant then? Do you have a basil, or do you just get it fresh and then?
I buy the packets of it, the clamshell basil, where you get a group of it. I've tried to have a basil plant. I kill it every time, or it flowers.
Ooh.
Okay.
So either way, I ruin it. I either take too good of care of it, or I murder it.
Yeah. Yeah, because one of my mom's cousins had one, and we made our own pizza, and then you just go outside and pick it off the right off. And honestly though, pizza with fresh basil on it, there's nothing better than putting fresh basil on it. It's so good that way.
Love a simple pizza, just dough, sauce, cheese. I like the basil, but I don't need anything else on it. And I used to be someone that there's this place nearby called, I always remember the name because I think of Arnold Schwarzenegger in Twins. It's Vincent's. It's Vincent's Pizza. Vincent, my brother. Anyway, and they put so much shit on top of the pizza that it doesn't fit in a box. They have to cover it with they don't use saran wrap or plastic wrap. They use parchment paper, and they staple it to the top.
Oh yeah.
Because it's so if you get the meat lover pizza there, it's $40 because it's seriously 2 inches full of meat. And it's just it's not pizza. You made a flat hoagie.
I mean, I gotta tell you, the last couple times we've gotten pizza, I've just gotten a plain cheese pizza, which I haven't eaten since I was 12, because and I was just man, cheese pizza just sounds just fine. We went to Domino's. I got a cheese pizza, and I ate almost the whole thing in one sitting. A good cheese pizza is phenomenal. Look, I like a good pepperoni pizza also, but
if you're judging a place for their pizza, get a plain cheese pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And that if it's good, their pizza's good. Doesn't matter what other toppings you put on it; those are like additional things. Plain cheese pizza is where it's at.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Who else likes to cook?
Well, I can go. So for me, my my wife always jokes that the reason she married me is because of my lasagna. So like I'll make that a lot of the times and enjoy that because it's there's a bit that goes into it. I mean that you're doing a lot of having to watch things so they don't like the noodles don't get too well done or like a lot of times I cheat and I leave my noodles in water so they don't get the chance to stick together.
Jesse. Hey Jesse. Pro tip. You don't have to boil your noodles.
I know, but I prefer doing it that way. I don't know why. I just don't trust that they're always gonna turn out. Because like I know like a lot of the times you can get the ones that you don't need to cook that you just lay in there and then it's supposed to do its thing as it's baking. But I don't know. I'm skeptic of those.
Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it.
And I like having the noodles as large as they're pretty much going to be. So when I layer it and put it together, I know how it's going to be when it's done, and not like possibly all mixing and stuff before the noodle expands. Like like that's. But again, that's just me. With it, I just like knowing what it's gonna look like when it's done or ready, kind of.
my problem when I make lasagna, if I actually boil the noodles first, like sometimes even though I think I'm being gentle, sometimes I'm not gentle, and I tear the noodles, and that pisses me off.
You gotta stop working out so much. Maybe you'd be more gentle.
You don't know your own strength.
It pisses me off. It's like, damn it! I want this thing perfect, not mishmashed noodles.
Yeah, and like one of the things I do differently because I like lasagna with either cottage cheese or ricotta in it, and so I do half and half, and I mix it all together. And then like my thing is I season that with like whatever like Italian seasoning type stuff that you normally have in like and something, and I season that cheese stuff so then there's a lot of flavor in that as well. So then when it cooks it just I don't know, for me I just like it best that way instead of just having the cheese without any flavor in it. But
Pat, what are you cooking?
Well, I made a very mean turkey pot pie in the microwave yesterday. It was
Did
delicious.
it attack you?
Oh no, I attacked it.
Oh, okay.
It made me mean. Cooking is something I really wish to get into. I actually just moved into my own place, so now I have my own cooking stuff. So I feel more obligated to actually cook, other than throw things in an oven or the microwave or just order fast food.
Yeah,
but
it's just. I mean, it can be frustrating at times, but it's just kind of fun sometimes to just be able to experiment with things. Like that's my favorite part about it. Is a lot of times I don't go by recipes. I just like do whatever I feel like for the most part. Like I go rogue a lot of the times when I make things, and
You're a bold
like
man,
that's
sir.
that's the fun part of it for me. But yeah, I just grew up around that stuff a lot though as a kid. Like my mom, like we would help baking and cooking and all that stuff, and I worked in the restaurant business and would cooked and stuff a lot there as well, and just kind of always have been around it. So
yeah, I had a friend gave me one of those HelloFresh food kits.
Oh yeah,
and it was a sun-dried tomato sun-dried tomato basil like pasta, and that turned out really well.
Yeah, I hear good things about those all the time.
Yeah. LeRon, I don't want to hear about your workout meal prep shakes.
Yeah, I throw things in a blender and I blend it.
Yeah,
Well,
everything I eat
until-
through a straw and green.
I'm sticking with the Italian theme that Joe and Jesse had because my roommates lose their mind when I make spaghetti, and I honestly feel like that is one of my signature dishes, but I actually like to make that one because I mean, and I'm one of those people. I kind of make my own meat sauce by saying that. Like what I'll do is I will buy one jar of like pre-made like spaghetti sauce, but typically I already have like also cans of tomato paste and diced tomatoes and stuff, and I'll go ahead, put all that together, season it myself, let that steep for a little while, get all that mixed up. And then while that's going on, of course, the ground beef is getting done for the actual meat base of the sauce. Mm-hmm. And then I can go one of two ways if I'm feeling really fancy. If I want to do meatballs, then I'll just I'll go ahead and do like the regular ground beef meatballs and stuff like that. But sometimes I'm lazy, so what I will do is I'll go out and buy a pack of Italian sausage, and what I'll do is I will chop those up so that they're the meatball size. And then I'll sear those in the pan for a few minutes, and then when everything's going into the pot, while the before the process for doing the noodles, the sausage goes in, and all that stuff like basically does its thing. And the cool thing about it is like that whole process. Some people's like, oh, spaghetti, the sauce isn't ready unless you do it overnight. Now my spaghetti sauce is ready in like an hour, maybe an hour and a half and stuff like that, and no one's ever said anything about the sauce. The sauce is never too runny, because sometimes you get like a really watery sauce. It's never runny. It's never been ultra thick, and it will actually like stain the noodles like when you actually put it in. That's how you know you had good spaghetti sauce, when it actually will stain the noodles immediately. Versus the noodles have like a little bit of coloring, but it looks like the sauce just rolled off of it. Yeah. So that's my thing. As a matter of fact, I usually like warn my roommates like a week ahead of time, like, hey, I'm making spaghetti next week, and they usually cancel all their plans when they know it's spaghetti night.
There's like a call network that goes through and be like, I can't. He's making spaghetti. I gotta call off work. Spaghetti night. I gotta have stains.
I'm sorry, Taco Tuesday. It's good. No, we'll call it Spaghetti Thursdays. How about that? We'll do Spaghetti Thursdays now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I miss those nights.
That's what it'd be. I
made tacos tonight. Does that count?
What's in your taco?
Oh, it was just ground beef and cheese and some salsa I found at Aldi. That was really good.
Sounds like
Look, for somebody who worked and managed a restaurant kitchen for, better half of a decade. Cooking sucks. I hate cooking, but that's just me.
What's the salsa?
I don't know. It's like it's called like Aldi Verde or something. It's like really generic Aldi salsa.
I mean, we go to Aldi's, but we get the pineapple salsa.
Yeah. I can go get it for you if you want and show you.
Doesn't matter. I mean, it's okay. You knew it off the top of your head. You don't have to run and go get it.
Yeah. There's a green one and then there's a red one. Green is mild.
So we get ours it's yellow.
I'm
very familiar with Aldi. We just went there this morning.
I went yesterday. It was fun.
Yesterday morning. We had the same weekend.
We did.
Did you resurface your garage?
No. We
ruined it.
We put stuff in the garage. Does that count? I spent time in my garage this weekend.
All right. Yeah, that'll count.
Man. But yeah, anyways, food. It's good. I'm one of those people that would rather just go buy food than just cook it at home because I like processed garbage and that gives me cancer and whatever else it's gonna, do to my body.
Everything's gonna kill us.
Yeah, let's be fair.
I think for me, the disadvantage of cooking is that it mostly takes longer than it does to eat it. So
yeah,
it's that time portion.
Yeah.
And nobody likes having to do a whole crap load of dishes after you're done.
Yeah.
Like that.
But, I mean, that's why you wash the dishes as you cook, though. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
But speaking of cooking, what's cooking in your guys' consoles? Anybody playing anything fun? Not fun?
I've been playing The Last Guardian on my PS4 Pro.
Oh yes, Ed's favorite PlayStation franchise, The Last Guardian.
Yep.
Have to poke fun at Ed every time he's not here.
I like that game quite a bit, but I do see where everyone's complaining about the controls really being bad in that game.
Oh yeah, it's a PS2 game.
They definitely are really bad controls. But I do like the way things look in it, and I do like the the whole relationship and the story that's going on in it so far. I mean, I'm enjoying it, but yeah, it's just I just hate the whole when games do that, where if you run and you bump into something, you fall over, and there's a lot of things to bump into when you're running around in that game. So that part does really get irritating.
Mm-hmm.
You did not like Death Stranding, did you?
I didn't even give. Yeah, I mean, I just got my PS4 about a week or two ago. So, but no, I never was interested in that game at all from the start. Death Stranding, it's one of those games I probably never will try.
You don't want to. You don't want to trek across America delivering packages, building bridges to reconnect society with a man named Bridges.
No, I just
Sam Porter. Bridges.
If you were delivering packages as the dude, then yeah.
This is what happens, Larry.
That or Dude Love, one of these. But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it quite a bit, but there definitely is that. Getting over the control stuff a little bit has been, quite a bit of an experience, but I'm enjoying it. I'm going to try to finish that. I've also, I finished Until Dawn. That was one of the games that after I played that, I was like, okay, I played a little bit of it. My friend had brought his PS4 over, early on when that game came out, and I'm like, okay, this game is 100% something that I know I'm going to love, and yeah, so I had been just kind of wanting to play that game for a long time, and now I finally did and finished it, and I absolutely loved every second of it. I put it right up there with Resident Evil and Breath of the Wild and some of my favorite games of all time. So with Resident Evil 2 and stuff, but obviously if you've heard me talk before, I love horror games. So for me, and I did play a little bit of RE8, but I haven't really gotten far enough into it to talk much about it. So, but that's pretty much it for me.
I kind of want to play it. Everything I hear about Resident Evil 8, I kind of want to play it, but then I'm like, oh, wait, it's spooky, and I don't want to play the spooky games. But also...
But from what I've heard, though, it's spooky. Not. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hearing it's more action-y.
But I feel like I have to play 7 to play 8.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's why I'm not playing 8 right now. I haven't played 7.
Well, they do, Corey, if you really want to get the story of 7, they do this is what happened previously, and they break down what happened in 7 and 8. You can watch that.
Yeah.
And
that's not good.
Well,
no.
but I mean, I'm talking for Corey though, because 7 is definitely all about jump scares and just making your heart race. And
Corey, don't do it. Don't do it. Just play the game. Just play the first game. And I know you don't like games, but I've heard Resident Evil 7 will scare the hell out of you.
Yeah. I watched my friend play for about, I don't know, 2 hours, and I was like, ooh, we got to the point where they're fighting in the garage, and he like kind of mutilates that cop, and then he just kind of,
yeah.
Spoilers for Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. It's on Game Pass. It's 3-4 years old at this point.
Mm-hmm.
If you're interested in all, you should have played it. And then they fought in the garage, and he rammed the car into the old guy, and it was like, okay,
Yeah.
you're making your point. Maybe not. So.
Yeah, that's my suggestion though, just because obviously like you, LeRon, I would rather he play 7, but knowing how you are with that kind of stuff, I think honestly you just watch that recap of 7, get what the story is, caught up, and play this, because everyone says that it's not about scaring, it's not about jump scares, it's not about any of that stuff in 8. It's more just about like the spookiness of it. It's not really trying to be a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. I have played all the way through 8. There is one part that is meant to be scary. Like but like, that it's kind of like midway in the game. But for the rest of it, it's more like tense, like you're going through firefights and you're wondering if you're going to have enough ammo to make it through this.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, though. I really love Resident Evil 1, and that's really the only Resident Evil game I've ever played all the way through. So.
Oh, I love Resident Evil 4.
I see.
I have such good feelings with that game.
I have feelings about Resident Evil 4.
I also have feelings.
Not positive. It sounds like it.
Yeah, I don't. I don't really care for Resident Evil 4. I tried.
Oh,
I like.
But also, I didn't try to
the
play
story,
it.
But I hated the controls.
I also didn't try to play it until after like Gears came out, and then like that dual stick, like it doesn't have the dual stick shooting stuff, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah,
has the old school GoldenEye one stick aiming stuff. Pat, what are you playing?
I am currently playing the new DLC for the Assassin's Creed Valhalla game, The Wrath of the Druids.
Ooh, is it good?
If you like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it's a lot more of that.
Sounds like you
so
can play either way.
If you didn't get enough, like 120 hours worth, expect like at least another like 15 to 30.
Cool.
But I'm enjoying it. It's I really liked Eivor as a character. And this time he goes to Ireland, and so you're getting into the Celtic lore and Celtic myths.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's a little bit on the darker, more like witchcraft and druid music or druid magic, and also Celtic music. There's a lot of singing in this DLC. But I'm enjoying it. I'm absolutely love the Assassin's Creed series. So
see, I liked Origins, but I had issues with it. I love Odyssey, and I've tried to play Valhalla so many times, and I don't know what it is. It's just not doing it for me. I think if you liked Origins, you'll love Odyssey, but you'll love Valhalla, but if you loved Odyssey, Origins is going to be a little bit different of a thing for you. I don't know. But
that's very interesting. It might be because of the fact that it encourages you to keep coming back to your settlement. Could that be it?
I don't know. I didn't get that far, honestly.
Oh, okay.
I've probably played about 3 hours of it. Like I played the opening of that game 3 times. I don't know. I'm still gonna go back to it at some point because I like that series and I want to see it through. But I don't know. I keep getting sucked back into Destiny, and Outriders is sucking up some time, and Mass Effect just came out, and
I will say Valhalla is an absolutely crappy Assassin's game, but it's a great game overall.
Yeah, I think that's like the general consensus about this iteration of the series, right? This last 3, like they're really terrible Assassin's Creed games, but they're great open world RPGs.
Yep, I love it.
So,
Give me that checklist. I love checking things off.
oh, boy, do they have?
I got a to-do list for you if you want to come over. It's literally on my fridge right now.
Does it involve assassinating people and
We
finding
can pretend
buried
it
treasure?
does. I mean, we can just pretend
Ooh.
it's the next version of Assassin's Creed. It's just a really
can
bad Assassin's Creed game.
You can assassinate. You can assassinate that carpet with this vacuum cleaner.
You can assassinate my lawn. You can assassinate my gutters. At least the junk in the gutters.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of gutters, there's critters that live in our gutters, and I've tried to get them out like 4 times now, and now they've moved into the other side, and yeah.
Yeah.
Causing
Other
dust
than that, I think I am currently working on the. I just got the Famicom Detective Club games.
Oh yeah, how are those? I hear they're
Yeah, how are they?
interesting.
The controls are kind of rough, and like it is a 30-year-old game, and so you're going to be asking the same questions over and over again just to get it to move to whatever you're supposed to do next. Because either you have to ask it multiple times, or you have to ask something and then go back and ask about another item on the list. But in terms of story, it's actually really good. And the animations are pretty good too, and fun music. So overall, it's a decent game if you like visual novels.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, Halo, Destiny.
Yeah. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Destiny. Raid coming up this coming weekend, so real soon. Looking to do Vault of Glass again, which is exciting.
It is exciting.
And Halo 5, its
Ooh.
anniversary throwback this weekend, which is my favorite game mode in Halo 5. Have you guys played that at all? Or no?
Yeah.
Big
Yes.
Halo 5 fans, everyone.
No, I mean,
What's Halo?
I play
Halo
Halo
5?
Halo 1 5 times. That's
So they take remakes of all the Halo CE maps, and you get to play with Clamber and all the modern, like the sprint and all the modern controls, and you get the original pistol, and it is just so much fun. I have such a good time playing it. I wish it would hang around all the time, but hopefully Halo Infinite will be a little bit of a balance of that. I don't know. I mean, I've played a couple other things, but those have taken up the bulk of my week. Destiny's probably going to be a major grind for me for the next, I don't know, until Infinite comes out till November.
Are you up to light level in Destiny or power level or whatever it's called?
Yeah,
now?
I'm my light level right now in Destiny is 13-16. So yeah, I mean, for Vaults of Glass, it's going to be 1300. So I'm already at cap for right now. It's just basically playing through the story beats, the seasonal challenges, and making sure I have a good build available. And that's about it. I haven't really played. I'm trying to think what other game. I mean, I've played some more Returnal, which is a fun game. It's a good game. It's just I don't know. I get to the point where it's exciting to make it a little bit farther, and then you die, and then you're like, oh shit. Well, now I have to start over again. I will say that it gets more forgiving. I made it to the end of the second level yesterday, I think afternoon at some point, and they give you more opportunities to if you're not familiar with the game, there's a little astronaut figurine you can pick up, which basically gives you a life, so you can die, and then you stay in the same spot and have all your same gear. You get another chance. And they give you more opportunities to get those the further you make it down into the game. So, but when you're playing with I don't know how much of it's me and how much of it I just feel like I need to blame my kids for being a shitty gamer. You know what I mean? My daughter will come over. She's like, "Dad, look at this." I'm like, "I lost. It's your fault, not mine. I didn't lose. You lost for me." And she's like, "I'm gonna go play with Peppa now." I'm like, "Yeah, that makes sense." But I don't know. Nothing. Same old shit. I'm a one-trick pony with games for the most part. I want to play Resident Evil. I like Resident Evil. I never played 7, but like I want to play it, but it's just like, I can just play Destiny.
Yeah.
I already have it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel that way sometimes. We're like, I want to play these other games, but I feel like I don't have enough time to get into these other games, and I'm really into the comfort food of the comfort food games, and it's like, well, guess I'll go grind some Destiny stuff. Guess I'll go do these gunsmith bounties for the 47th time this week, and run a strike or two, because
Sometimes my brain is just like full enough. Like I don't want any new information, but I want to play a game, and I just want to go on like I want to go on a little hamster wheel for a little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
A
nice.
lot of the times I just flat out a lot of the times have times where just games in general just don't sound good. Like I just want to sit and in the comfort of my couch and just watch a nice show or something and just relax, and just not have to think about anything really.
Yeah, during my whole break when I took off when my kid was born, I just kind of like didn't play any games. I watched, the South Park vaccination specials.
Yeah,
and I
need to watch that.
It took me 3 nights to watch the Justice League Snyder Cut, which was probably a waste of 4 hours.
That one is 3 nights long, though, right? Like,
yeah,
that's
it's
it's 4
It's
and
like
a
a
half.
72-hour cut.
God, it was bad. By the way,
I loved it. I loved it.
I haven't seen it because I swear, like the DC movies have just been so wholly disappointing. And the crazy part is the ones that I like, nobody else liked. Like I love Suicide Squad. Nobody liked it.
I was like, what are they doing in this movie? Like I felt like an hour and 15 minutes of that movie was set up, and then the last 20 minutes was like, oh, we're gonna shoot the crazy lady,
and it just ends.
Yeah, and then it just ends. I'm like,
Well,
by the way,
I
though,
didn't mind that movie just because I know the like comic stuff. Like I know the whole concept of that, of what it is, way before this movie came out. So, but I mean, so it didn't really confuse me at all. But
the casting was good. Like I thought the casting was fun.
Yeah.
But man,
James Gunn's Suicide Squad's gonna be good. Like it is. Like there's very little doubt in my mind that it's gonna be bad. DC just doesn't know what they are or what kind of movie they want to make, and that's, I feel like, their problem is that they don't like. Are they dark, or are they kind of like lighthearted and funny, or is it kind of like a dark humor where it's both? And at the end of the day, it's like kind of none of them. It's just like like you can tell that they want to compete with Marvel, but they also like here's what it is. It's just like someone that watches these like Marvel movies, and then you get like these directors and these art directors and cinematographers are like, wouldn't it be cool if we made like a darker version of it, like a grittier version of this? And like they all agree, and then they show their screening to the producers, and they're like, this isn't gonna beat the Avengers. We need to make it more Avengery. And then they like go back and they recut it and they put like jokes in, and it's like well, now it's bullshit. It's just like when you mix too many colors and then you just get like that weird muddy brown. It's just like this isn't anything. I can't tell what this is.
See, and I completely agree with that, because like, as a person who prefers DC comics and DC's characters and everything over Marvel, like any day, like the whole reason is because DC does something comic wise that Marvel for me is just hasn't really done, that gets me as interested. So instead of trying to be like Marvel, you need to try to be like DC in comics. Like they have so many just crazy, amazing comics that they could be basing movies off of that would just be better than anything that we've seen.
Here's what the DC actual live movies branch needs to do. They need to take a beat from the DC animated movies. They need to take a beat from them, because I take the DC animated movies much more seriously than I take the DC live action movies. I do. They seem to be more solid, and the crazy part is like those movies aren't even all cohesive. Those animated movies, but they at least try to follow the tone of the comic books. They do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Whereas these DC movies are just like, what the hell? You know, like some of the stuff is completely random, and I'm the opposite of you, Jesse. Like I'm more of a Marvel fan because like every time I read DC comics and stuff, I'm like, man, y'all, these superheroes are too super. They have like no flaws. They're all of them are like fucking gods. You know, like the only flaw they have is they get in their own way. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't relate to the fact that, you know, Superman is the most powerful being on the planet, and he gets bitched by a rich dude with gadgets. My brain just and you know, I'm sure Bruce Wayne is like smarter than Clark Kent or Kal-El or Superman or whatever you want to call him. So I'm pretty sure Bruce Wayne has a higher intellect than him. But still, the fact that you have a man that sees the entire spectrum of the universe is damn near the fastest person on the planet, and could actually rip the planet in half if you wanted to, and you can't stop Batman. Batman's some crazy dude with money. But that's my thing about it though. Why were we even talking about the DC movies?
Oh
yeah, how'd that get brought
up? How'd that happen?
I think it wasn't that.
Corey
mentioned that he watched the Justice League. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I made a comment.
Is it my turn to go next?
Go,
on what
just
we're
go
playing?
with it, man.
Yeah.
I am currently playing the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I am enjoying the tweaks and everything they made to Mass Effect 1, but I am also seeing where, despite all the hard work they put into it, there's still some things going on with the game. The Mako still plays like a freaking the Mako no longer plays like a floaty thing. It plays like a rock that can float now, if that makes sense for you guys.
Got more weight to it.
Yeah, it's got more weight to it. Like it's more firm on the ground. Oh, cool thing about the Mako though is that you no longer are an instant death if you hit lava.
Nice.
You actually have a chance to get your ass out of lava.
I have one question about the Mass Effect thing.
Yeah.
Is the autosave in Mass Effect 1 better?
I want to say yes. The reason why I want to say yes is because I accidentally flubbed on something and immediately had to reload my autosave, and it was kind of close to where I was at. Oh, I know what you're asking. Does the autosave like interrupt like your action? Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm asking like my biggest problem. So I've played through Mass Effect 1 a lot. We'll just say a lot. It's a big number. More than 10.
Okay.
And my biggest issue is that, like, I will play the game, and then there'll be the moment where I forget to manually save, and I'm like 90% way through a mission, and then I'll die, and then I start back for where like I'm landing in the Mako, and I'm like, mother.
I haven't gotten to a situation with that yet. I will let you know. I will let you know. I know what you're talking about now because that was my biggest headache when I was doing my Mass Effect 4K replay on the PC with the mods. Mm-hmm. That was my biggest gripe, and even the people who were doing the mods were like, yeah, we can't do anything about this autosave thing. Like, just turn it off. But then it's like, you turn it off, then what's the point?
Yeah. I mean, you just have to remember to like you basically scum save through the game.
Yeah.
Or you forget. Anyway, continue. My apologies.
Yeah, but no, like I like the improvements that are in Mass Effect 1 right now. Like I'm not super knee deep into the game and everything, but the changes are nice. They're welcome. There's the HUD for Mass Effect 1 is more in line with Mass Effect 2 and 3, meaning that, you know, like you don't have that little sidebar that has your characters' names and stuff with their health gauge and all that stuff. It's more like Mass Effect 2 and 3 where you see your shield layout, you see their statuses on the left and right, and you see what's going on with them. And it's a lot easier to deal with and manage versus like, you know, like, okay, are their shields about to go? Or do I need to worry about using Metagel or Omnigel or whatever? You know, stuff like that. Another another nice. I mentioned this last night, Jesse, when we were on Arsenal X. It's just a tweak, but the text for the subtitles in Mass Effect 1 are exactly the same as they are in Mass Effect 2 and 3. What they've done is they try to make it all cohesive. Like the character models, for example, for the character generator, they're all based off of the templates for 2 and 3 because Mass Effect 1's character model templates were insane. And that's being nice and things like that. I didn't know this until I started seeing the information about the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Is that there was no how Corey was yelling at me about why am I using default Shep. There was no default Fem Shep until they put a face on her for the cover of Mass Effect 3, and now there's a default for her. So
okay.
it's interesting, like the stuff they've done to it. It's improved, I'll say that. And I'm playing on the PC, so I don't know, like I can explain like the colors and the textures all day, and everyone's like, well, you're playing on the PC, so but it looks like a whole different animal. At least Mass Effect 1. Like, and I've noticed something. People are streaming the game right now. And they're streaming Mass Effect 3. They didn't even play the first game, first or second game. And I'm trying to figure out why.
No, you played the series. You played the entire series. You just played the series.
Here's a pro tip for anyone that's watching and listening right now.
Pro gamer LeRon Dawkins tips.
I found out that the galactic readiness thing, in Mass Effect 3, that will overall help the survivability of all the people that are in your fleet and everything. They've tweaked it now to where, like, if you play through Mass Effect 1 and 2, you get a significant bump on your galactic readiness when you start Mass Effect 3. If you start Mass Effect 3 and it doesn't have save information for the first 2 games, you're going to have to do all that work, which means you're going to have to play every side quest, every mission, you're going to have to make sure you don't piss off any individuals, because I'm going to punch that reporter. I am.
You're going to have Jessica Chobot? No,
not just the show.
No, it's the one from the first game, like in the.
I gotcha. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm gonna punch her lights out. I'm gonna punch her lights out in both games.
If you don't play through the first 2, you actually have to get a second gen iPad and play through the mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Infiltrator or whatever.
Infiltrator.
Yeah.
Which kind of is a bummer that game doesn't work anymore. I remember playing it a lot.
Yeah, there was actually 2 mobile games. There was like a top-down one too.
Was there?
Yeah. I don't remember what it was called though.
Yeah,
Let's
so
look it up.
that's
if only we had devices in front of us to look up important information.
Yes, we just
about
won't know.
That's my spiel about Mass Effect, and of course I'm playing Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah.
I don't need to say anything else about that. Like the new event quest is out, so get to it, guys. If you guys are playing it, the new event quest is out. It's easy. It's a cake event quest too. Like it's 4 titles, which Jacob and I will talk about on Wednesday's on Wednesday's upcoming Hunters for Hire.
Mass Effect Galaxy was the top-down one, and then Mass Effect Infiltrator was the normal-looking one.
The one where you play as that weird guy.
Yeah. The weird guy, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
He had a scar.
Yeah.
On his face.
You played as a Cerberus.
That's how you know he's weird.
Cerberus operative named Randall Esno. So
There you go.
Screenshot of the game. That's the smallest screenshot I've ever seen.
That's actually the resolution that the iPhone was at the time.
I know.
Which is why it's that small.
As for me, I've just been playing Destiny and Outriders. I did play Super Mario Party on Friday, so that was fun. It was fun. The game's not fun, but the company was fun. So, yeah, I don't really have much. I could talk about Destiny till I'm blue in the teeth. There's actually, if you didn't know, there's a Destiny podcast we do. Joe shows up on sometimes. Tower Casual, so you can listen to it. So, if you want to hear about Destiny, you can go there.
No Pokemon Snap.
No, sorry.
I played a little bit of that, but I haven't played much of it.
Yeah.
Same.
So, I'll get to it eventually, but anyways, let's move into some topics. We're probably gonna cut one of these topics just because we have been running a little long, and I want to play our game that I worked so hard for. So.
Oh, when you said I want to play our game, I was thinking, no, yes, he's playing Monster Hunter tonight. Yes.
Look, I've thought about it, LeRon, so hard. So
and then
hard.
you bought Mass Effect.
And then I bought Mass Effect instead. Okay. Now,
Makes sense to me.
I could just get it anyways, but I feel like two games in 1 week would just be...
Two games that you're not going to play through. That's a lot.
I will play through Mass Effect, but
I will play through it. I
should have waited until it was on sale, because you know it's going to be on sale in like 2 weeks.
It's a damn shame, because I feel like this is the run the gauntlet season for me, because Monster Hunter Rise came out, right? And now we've got Monster Hunter Rise came out, then Returnal came out. Now we got Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Ratchet and Clank is coming. So that's 4 games already in my hit list. And then right after Ratchet and Clank, there's another Monster Hunter game coming. And then Kenna Bridge of Spirits is out.
Oh man, that game's gonna be so good.
Yeah, Kenna looks good. It's $40 too. It's not even a $70 game.
Exactly.
I don't understand that.
I know. They could, dude. If Returnal can get $70, Kenna could have got $70. I'm just saying.
For sure.
Yeah. Speaking of $70, we're gonna move into our first topic. It's about Unreal Engine 5 and how most of the Xbox Game Studios teams, including the Coalition, who just kind of announced it this week, are moving to next-gen development via Unreal Engine 5. So they're really working with 4 engines right now. They're working with Slipspace for Halo, the Forza engine for Forza, and Fable is also going to run on the Forza engine, apparently. Can't wait to chase chickens in a Lamborghini.
Just make sure you let off the gas when you're cornering, you just get out.
Yeah. Yeah. They're working with the whatever their new engine is for Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 with Bethesda, and they are running on Unreal 5 for the rest of it. Oh, also id Tech for Doom and Wolfenstein. So 5 engines, I guess. But a majority of the teams are going to be working on Unreal 5. The Coalition said that they are working on multiple new projects via Unreal. They have nothing to announce for a while. They said multiple projects. I'm assuming one is Gears 6. I'm assuming one might be Gears Tactics 2. But one of them is not related to Gears whatsoever. So that's really interesting. But I want to kind of talk about how Unreal Engine 5 seems to be becoming the go-to engine for not only games, but for other types of media. Because people who watch The Mandalorian, a lot of those stages were built with Unreal Engine 5. Which I didn't know until after I watched the second season. Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which also explains why Luke Skywalker's face looked like a video game character. But I digress.
Yeah.
Joe, you're the film guy here. What are your thoughts of Unreal being used in other forms of media?
I mean, in all honesty, I like the proof is kind of already out there, right? I mean, the second season of Mandalorian, from someone that hates the overuse of CG in movies, it looks good, right? And the way that they build the stages now with the kind of like the 360-degree screen, it helps a lot of the actors most of the time as far as like knowing what space they're in. It helps give you those cool reflections off armor or visors or windows, so you get that sense that they are in that space. I've seen a lot of Unreal demos where the photorealism on it is good. Like, like I feel like we're at the point where that's a reality, where you can do stuff like that and the computer can make certain decisions without having someone be there. And that's the other thing. So the reason why I don't like early CG, and I think we're getting to the point where we're past kind of like the uncanny valley section of it, and we're getting into the part where it looks good, is because previously things were only in CG if someone told it to be there, right?
Yeah.
So there was never any happy accidents like you would get on film, like when you actually did something physically. You wouldn't get like that weird. You wouldn't get the thing where in Raiders of the Lost Ark, where when Indiana has the RPG up on the top and that guy has the fly land on him. Like it's like a funny clip that everyone laughs at whenever you see it. It's like, oh, there's the fly. There's like small stuff like that makes it feel real.
Yeah.
Weren't there. And then when helps when you watch it later, like, oh, it doesn't hold up. Like that's the reasons, like your mind kind of detects these things and is able to figure it out. The Mandalorian looks great. These photorealistic tech demos that I'm watching like look really good, and they happen in real time, so they're able to quickly evolve. But also, you have to do it then. You can't do like let me fix it in post and try to like figure it out later because you've already shot some. I'm sure they get some wiggle room. I like it. I think it's a good marriage of kind of classic filmmaking with embracing technology in probably the best possible way. I do think that it's probably what's that Tom Cruise movie where they first started doing stuff like that?
Minority Report?
No, it's the one where he's
dies over and over again.
No, it's not. It's not the Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow.
Mission Impossible. The Mummy.
It's the one where him and that woman are like the last people on Earth. That one, right?
Kind of. Yeah, they live in that dome up top, and then he goes and investigates something. I'm pretty sure Morgan Freeman is in it, oddly enough, because he's in everything.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman's in it.
It's a white future, so he's wearing like a white suit, and all the guns are white. Cripes. Anyway,
I'm looking it up now.
They first started doing stuff like that in that movie where they projected like a space in it. It's the movie's like okay, but like it looks good, which is important in a visual medium.
It's Oblivion.
Oblivion. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm happy with it. I think it's a good thing. I definitely think it's the way that we move forward with these kind of like, obviously the sci-fi futures and all these crazy movies aren't going anywhere, and it helps ground them a lot. I like it. I'm happy with it. 2 enthusiastic thumbs up.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, this is kind of going back to games, but I think, like, I don't know if any of you guys have really been watching the diaries for Ninja Theory. Like they're kind of like for their new games, the new game, I can't remember what the name of it was right now, but anyways, like they're doing kind of almost like a mixed approach to making this new game, because the whole game takes place in an apartment, and like they're actually have been using like technology where they're going out and they're shooting areas and getting like visuals of like cliffs and mountains and all that stuff, and then they're using the engine to then simulate those things and look almost exactly like what they took a picture of, but it's in a visual like studio, and they have some really cool videos in their diaries on YouTube. If you go to the Ninja Theory YouTube page, they just show like how they're making this stuff, and like they took like pictures of this apartment, and it's that what they want to base the game around in the area that you're playing, and then when they throw it in Unreal, like honestly, you cannot tell that it's just a digital, like a simulated version of what they took a picture of. Like they talk about how you can go down to like the detail of like you can in the game, in the engine, if you zoom into the floor, you can see the dust rolling on the hard floor, and like all this stuff is inside this digital version of this thing that they took a picture of. And it's just insane how like I said, like down to dust on the floor, realistic that they can make things look in that. And to be using something like that in movies, like honestly only makes sense. Like if it's gotten to that point, like I mean, like I think a lot of technology is constantly kind of pushing us towards different things. I think a lot of of things getting to where it is partially to do with VR too, because there's that push for trying to get a person inside of a place without actually being there, and trying to make it as realistic as they can, to give you that feeling like you're actually in something when you're in VR. And I think a lot of it, all of it, is just kind of pushing each other, and eventually it's all going to just be one thing, and it just be a matter of what kind of thing you're using it to make for, whether it be a game or a movie or a show or or whatever. So there's some interesting stuff out there about that tech. It's crazy.
How far out do you think we are from having a movie be released in like VR? Like, I know it can't probably be it's not going to be a traditional movie, right? But think about this, like having a dramatic scene set, let's say in an apartment, right? We'll just make it as simple as possible. Two people fighting, two people have an argument in an apartment about something, and maybe you can be there for like the day in VR. But then you can choose to like stay in one room with one person or go to the other room with somebody else, maybe see like who they're on the phone with or who they're texting, or you know what I mean? Like, but you basically just have like maybe an hour of time, but you can explore it through different things. Do you think we'll be ever at a point where people, I guess that kind of sounds like a game.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, this is kind of a joking answer, but I mean, there is like, obviously porn where you can literally be in the room and you're experiencing a whole thing that's going on around you.
That's not exactly what I was talking about.
But I mean,
this is why Jesse wants VR on Xbox.
It's similar to a kind of, in a way, it's similar to that, but
Jesse's the one that's buying those those novels on Switch with the Labo VR.
Everything you like, you can thank porn for. Movies, all the things that have, porn always ends up pushing the envelope, and then
for technology.
For technology.
I was gonna say, I think I found Ninja Turtles before I found.
I think
the creepy porn parody.
I think there was movies before there was porn.
No, I'm talking technology. But yeah, no, I could see them doing that though, and like depending like where you go or what part you can you all see the same movie but have a different experience of that movie. Yeah, like that would be very cool, because similar to what we see in games like Until Dawn, where depending on what kind of choices you make, your ending could be different than someone else's. And like have that experience of being like, oh, I did, I was here at this point, and and I experienced this, and I mean that I could definitely see it, eventually being something, because I mean, VR is still kind of in its infancy stage, like really, it's still very difficult and a niche thing to find a lot of things for, but
well, I hope whoever does the very first one, it's probably gonna be David Cage, let's be honest. He'll probably create that experience that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter Molyneux will say he'll do it, but then, he'll just make
Yeah.
a mobile game about a box that you can't open or something.
I just like the thought of like having the ability to do my own director's cuts because all the resources are still there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, imagine if you can, and this will come out with like AI, with the invention of AI, this will 100% be a thing. But imagine if you could go back and re-edit Blade Runner, but actually change camera angles and perspectives and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not that I would want a Blade Runner is probably a bad choice, but I just picked something that there's like 50 edits of out there.
I was going to say, the way to pick one where there's no other edits of the movie besides, the main one.
But I like the idea of like being able to go and like oh, let me see if I can change. Like, you take the same performances, like because the content itself doesn't change, but you just change where the camera is, how long a cut is, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is just so intriguing to me. Like, how many if you were to release something like that, Trent Reznor did it a while back with Nine Inch Nails. He released like all of his master tracks and be like, you guys make your own edits of everything. Imagine if film directors or film studios did that same thing. Like, here's all the raw footage. I want to see have all these like indie cuts of the same thing and how different they can be is just so intriguing to me.
Because changing a cut of one scene could change the pacing of the entire movie.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You could take the same things and edit them out of the order that they originally are in to make the conversation different, or to make the things could really change the impact. Like, just switching something that happened first to happening second would be a big difference. You could, how many Tarantino cuts where you start at the end and then you start doing like flashbacks you'd see first, and then I don't know.
You could put
literally
Kill Bill
infinite
1 and 2 in
possibilities.
order.
Right.
Hit the solar flare button.
Yeah. It's just one giant button in the J.J. Abrams package of movies. It's just like
Anamorphic lens flare. There it is.
Man. All right. Well, what do we think? What do we think the Coalition's secret project is? There was that rumor it was a Star Wars game, but they shot it down, which got me sad because a squad-based Star Wars game would have been cool.
Yeah, they need to do the Republic Commandos.
Yeah, that was the rumor, was they were going to do a Republic Commando style game based on the Bad Batch.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, like I have to say it somewhere publicly, is like I don't like the Bad Batch. I really thought I was going to like it. It has the makings of something I'd like, but it is just way too like simple for me. Like, it's like,
yeah, I'm starting to get that too, because like this third episode that just came out, it was off.
I mean, it's
way too small.
It's a kid show though, right? Like, right? I mean, I think.
Well, I mean the last couple of series were geared towards the kids, and they had my ass hooked.
Well,
maybe
but
maybe I'm just a ginormous ass kid, you know.
I refuse
you are, but...
to accept that as an answer, though. Like, look at Pixar. Pixar does not do that. They're kids' movies.
Yeah.
They find the balance. There's a balance to be had, and if you wanted to, you could make it okay for both young and adults. You could. It just takes a little bit more thought. And like, I don't like the fact that Wrecker is like, oh, I'm Wrecker, I'm dumb, and I'm gonna wreck stuff. I don't get it because I'm dumb. Like that's so simple. You can have a strong character that's not an idiot. I don't know.
I mean, I thought he was always like that though. Like when they introduced him in season 7 of the Clone Wars, I thought he was always.
Sure, but like you can have an evolution of a character so he's not a moron.
Okay, true.
I don't know. I just like got so excited because like I watched the first episode and I was like, this could be like a noble team, it feels kind of like what like a good Halo thing would be like, but like a little bit like in like the Star Wars universe. I love the squad dynamic, and then I just got dashed.
Wouldn't it be cool if, dude, that one scene in The Mandalorian, the first season, really made me want a Halo Reach show. Whether leaving the town and like all the Mandalorians come out and they shoot out with their jetpacks and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, we could have a Halo Reach show, but instead we got Nightfall is what it was called, and we got,
bad.
and now we're getting the Showtime Halo show, which is inspired
where the guy's
by
like, I
the
don't do
games.
impersonations, and
Yeah.
they're like, well, you better get fucking used to it because you're playing someone else's character.
Yeah. So
We still got Red versus Blue. That was good.
Is
Yeah,
it good
that
anymore? Is it still good?
I still like it. I still like it.
It looks goofy now. Like you can tell that they're using the models in a weird CG fashion, and like they look weird. I haven't watched it since probably season 4 or 5. I take that back. I've watched a lot recently. I'm working my way up, but I just want some good content from Halo.
Yeah.
you think Infinite's gonna be good, Joe?
The game?
Yeah.
I do.
No, the movie they're making based off the game, where Master Chief isn't in it, and I'm just kidding.
I mean, that was the original thing that they were doing, which it's not a bad idea. To have a Halo thing with not Master Chief in it is a good idea. It can't be about him the whole time because like you play as him.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to make this the Halo podcast.
Yeah, we do. Why not?
Sorry, I do that every time I talk about it. We don't need to have him in it. He's not like but like you can't also make fucking Nightfall again.
Yeah.
Like you have to have something interesting happen, and you have to not use bad CG. That elite in the first episode is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Next to like, I don't know, what's an early CG thing. There's no excuse for it, I guess is what I'm saying. They already have the character models. They have the power and resources. It just shouldn't look like that.
I didn't mind Forward Unto Dawn.
It's better.
Yeah.
There's a lot of real stuff in there, but What a Workshop was involved in that.
Yeah. The hunters look kind of bad, but
they did, and his armor looked too light. When he's moving, it feels like it's like
coming off,
like plastic on him.
Yeah.
It needs to feel heavier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Just hire me. I don't need to be the director because I don't have enough credits to warrant that. But like, have me on as a consultant. I'm the idea person. I got a lot. Just let me help.
Got a lot to say about Halo.
I'm like the FBI agent that shows up when there's 3 murders in a small town, like on set, and I'll be like, I'm just here to help, guys. Like, oh, look at this asshole. They bring in this you don't even know shit about us, and I'll be like, I know, and I like have a couple good ideas. I have to like bring everyone coffee for a little bit. Be like, oh, you got two sugars, right? I'm like, yeah. They'll come up to me slowly over the course of it. My dream.
Oh, wow. Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to this next topic here. PlayStation apparently has 25 games in development, which over half of them are new IPs. But that also means that half of them are old IPs, which, what are they? Because, I mean, like, we know Gran Turismo, Ratchet, God of War, Horizon.
Yeah, but they don't have Uncharted anymore. They don't have...
Well,
I mean, they could technically, but, you've got Infamous, you've got, there's a lot of different things that, I mean...
Well, they're not doing Infamous because they're doing Spider-Man, right? I mean, I feel like that's...
Yeah.
There you go. There's number 5, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. Somebody's doing Uncharted.
Are 2 of them Last of Us remasters?
Probably.
Do those count?
Probably.
That's probably.
I mean, there was that rumor, right, that they're remaking the first game, and then they're remastering the second game, and they're going to package them together when the show comes out. That's been a rumor for like a couple months now, right?
Yeah. I mean the remaking of the second one, I don't think that was like announced, wasn't it?
I mean, like a PS5 native version, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are they just gonna remake the first one with Pedro Pascal as Joel instead?
I hope not.
That seems like something they would do to fit it in with the
like
HBO
something
show.
they would do.
Yeah.
Are they making
especially when after you saw what they did with Spider-Man for the remastered version.
Are they Are they doing Uncharted with Tom Holland as Drake and Mark Wahlberg as Sully?
Just doing what they did with Rachel Dawes in the Dark Knight series.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's Maggie Gyllenhaal now, guys. It was always Maggie Gyllenhaal. What are you talking about?
I like how at the beginning, like, he's watching them on the computer monitor, and like they're having this whole conversation, like we're just supposed to know it's Rachel, and then finally when he gets up, he's like, Rachel can do whatever she wants or whatever, and it's like, oh well.
That's how they're like, this is Rachel.
Yeah.
This is Rachel now.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'd be excited if they brought back some PlayStation, like 1 or PlayStation 2 games series back. Like, give me some Jack and Daxter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's go through the Ratchet and Clank series. Let's get Twisted Metal out there.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say, like, you know, like they're like, without competing with like Forza Horizon, because, you know, like, obviously they're you know, they've got their own thing, and, you know, that's got, you know, going for the more sim thing. Like, and I've been saying this for years, is I wish someone would bring Jet Moto back. Like, could you imagine like a Jet Moto game and like a nowadays, like, you know, because I mean, you have like what is it? Oh crap! What's the one game that they have that's like
Wipeout?
Wipeout. But Wipeout isn't anything compared to Jet Moto. Like, Jet Moto was more about like getting to fly through things and like do tricks, and like it was more of like a mix of like a Tony Hawk and a racing, you know, a racing like bike game or whatever. Like, for me, like something like that's just would be like a lot more fun than trying to be too serious. Like, it's in the racing world anyway, I think would be a really cool thing to bring back.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of IPs that they could dive into. They have a lot of games that are IPs that aren't third-person action semi-open world games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's like, as much as I enjoy Uncharted and Horizon and God of War, it's like they're all over the shoulder third-person action games. Give me like Resistance. Like, I feel like Resistance would be really cool to bring back, especially now, right? Like, especially since, like, I don't know, Halo is coming. Like, I feel like having a sci-fi shooter, first-person shooter would be cool. Like, SOCOM would be cool.
Yeah, SOCOM.
At least let us play the games again.
Yeah.
You're fine with selling us new consoles. I'm obviously fine with buying it. Like, let me play my GD games. Like, let me play those games. I don't even care if they look the same at this point. Just let me play them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, honestly, that's part of the reason why I never ended up getting a PS3, is a lot of those games during the PS1 and 2 era that I really liked, they didn't exist anymore on the PS3 and haven't existed anymore.
You get that Metal Gear one.
So, like, I just...
Wait. What do you mean specifically?
Well, like I said, like for me, like growing up, like Jet Moto and like Spider, like I played that. I loved that game, even though it was a rough game at times. But the one where you were the mechanical robot spider that could get the upgraded legs that could do different things.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And like there's just a lot of little games like that I really love that just kind of ended up either disappearing or being like a one-off, or like, just certain things like that just kind of, a lot of those that I liked during that time never made it past the PS2.
Isn't that kind of the way like the industry is though? Like some games only meant to be one-offs because the company is trying to do something or experiment with tech, and then some of them realize, hey, we've got something going on that we could be living off the royalties for the rest of our lives in, like Uncharted, for example, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, shoot, just imagine some of those guys who were around in Naughty Dog when Crash Bandicoot. Like, just think of how much money they are making right now, and they're probably not even developing the games anymore.
Yeah, but that's the thing; they're still making that stuff, and that's exactly my point. I want them to bring some of that stuff back and keep doing it, because I do think it would sell, and it it would do really well. It's just you've got to continue it.
Well, I remember. I know this. Like, and I get what you're saying, but sometimes, like, I feel like sometimes developers lose the drive. Like the creator for Fez, for example, like he is not coming back. And so, if someone makes a sequel to Fez, like, it's going to be somebody who probably doesn't even know the property and stuff like that. So, like that winds up being a one-off. I found out the reason why it took so long to get the Metroid sequel is because Gunpei Yokoi died. Stuff like that. And Metroid's like my favorite Nintendo franchise and things like that. So, I don't know. Like, I feel like while I completely understand what you're saying, we gotta look at we gotta use a magnifying glass to figure out like why some of these games didn't keep going. Maybe some developers are just like, oh, we did what we wanted to do with this and we moved on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. By the way, fun fact, LeRon, since you brought up Metroid, did you know that?
Oh God, please don't torture me.
Did you know that Animal Crossing: A New Horizons has sold 3 times the amount of the entire Metroid series combined?
I told you don't torture me, and now I'm going to go to bed.
Tom
angry.
Nook cooler than Samus. Fact.
And you see, and Nintendo wonders why I don't readily give them money.
They apparently don't need it though, so.
True.
They don't need my money.
Asking.
they don't need my money. So I'll buy my 1 or 2 games a year on the Switch. Well, when this new Monster Hunter game comes out, it'd be my 3rd game I bought this year for the Switch, and that'd be all.
Yeah. I don't know what I mean. I wouldn't mind a new Uncharted. I feel like the more I think about the games I want from Sony, Uncharted is... I know I just complain that they make too many third-person over-the-shoulder games, but I feel like Uncharted is the one series that I would want from Sony at this point. That's not announced, by the way.
As the main host for Crossroads, the PlayStation podcast, I can't even begin to speculate like what the existing IPs are they're generating for, and I have no idea what these new games are because I mean, like Sony's been mad quiet about what they're doing, and then we wake up and they bought a partnership in Discord. Oh, we wake up, they bought the entire E3 conference. Yeah, I'm not E3. I'm sorry, Evo tournament conference and stuff, and like. I can't keep track of Sony, so I have to keep track. I just have to keep eyes on the news that's coming out around them. So, I mean, I can't even begin to speculate. I know the stuff that we know is coming, like God of War, like Horizons, Gran Turismo. That stuff that's a given. I would be shocked if a new Uncharted's coming, but it might be coming because they might want to do something to tie into the movie that's coming soon.
Well, see, I think Uncharted is coming. Like that's the thing is I like Sony Bend wanted to make Days Gone 2, and they shot it down, so we know that that's not coming. And then they were put on an Uncharted game, and then they fought Sony to be taken off of it, and then we know that Uncharted game went back to Naughty Dog in-house somewhere.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, you mean Last of Us?
No, Uncharted. There's also a Last of Us remake that's in-house at Naughty Dog.
Yeah, I know about that one, but I didn't know about Uncharted one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Which will probably, spoilers for Uncharted 4, will probably be Drake's daughter at some point.
I hope not. I hope not.
Give me a Parasite Eve remake.
You got to talk to Square Enix for that one.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, they've got to talk to
people want what Siphon Filter, right? Like people want that kind of stuff.
Who wants Siphon Filter?
I used to be a big Siphon Filter fan.
Okay.
There's some good ones there.
I'm not saying I want a new one.
I mean, I'd like to take a taser and set someone on fire again.
I don't know. I don't know. Homeboy who was bitching at us about us being cheapskate gamers because we didn't buy Days Gone when it was brand spanking new. I don't know. Like I feel like a Siphon Filter or anything right now. I'm not going to support that guy.
Well, he doesn't work at Bend anymore, so.
I know he doesn't work at Bend anymore. I know that, but it's me being the immature gamer and lashing out. That's all. You know, nah, you turned around. Now you turned around and bitched at me because I waited to play Days Gone when it was free on PlayStation Plus. So I'm sticking it to you now, man.
I mean,
I will not support you this Siphon Filter remake or whatever it is you're doing with it.
Yeah.
I don't even remember why. I don't even remember why I did not get Days Gone when it came out because it was on my list to get when they announced it. I think something else got in the way of me playing it. I don't know what it was though, because I mean Monster Hunter was already out, so it's not like it was Monster Hunter came up right after Days Gone came out. Monster Hunter was already out, so I'm not sure what kept my attention to not get Days Gone, but who knows?
Well,
I'd like Wild Arms to come back too. I loved Wild Arms.
I forget who published that.
Media Vision, I think it was called.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they're gone, aren't they?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made a few of them. I know they were those games though that didn't like a lot of people didn't really give them a shot. Like it just kind of because during the time when those came out, you had like Final Fantasies and all these other big, massive, well-known games that it was just hard to compete with. But like
that's not true. Personally, that's not true because PS1 was a freaking. It was. You want to play JRPGs? That's where you went. The PS1.
Mm-hmm.
Like you couldn't swing a dead cat without hitting a JRPG right in the face.
Right.
It's fair.
Yeah, but most of the rest of them didn't come out until PS2. I think only one. Well, Wild Arms 1 and Wild Arms 2 was on the first one. And those I think those did well. Yeah, they did well, but they started to kind of decline. I don't know if it was just I don't know exactly, but I mean, I think they kind of had something perfect in those first two that I think when they tried to expand and like make things more complex, it just kind of lost it.
Here's a question, Jesse, because I've noticed every game you've brought up has been nothing but third-party games that just happen to be on a Sony system.
Yeah.
What's a first-party IP that you would like from back in the day see to come back? Well, that was a first-party Sony IP.
Well, Twisted Metal was definitely one. Yeah, like I always loved Twisted Metal, but
yeah, like
honestly, well, I mean, a lot has changed though. That's the thing is like, I mean, a lot of the stuff they used to do is like just isn't like it's not the same Sony anymore, in my opinion. But
yeah,
Twisted Metal.
Like I mean, as we've seen, they're more focused on American U.S. stuff now. Like they closed their Japanese.
The West is where all the money is coming from.
I know, but I mean but that's what I'm saying is like it's for me it's they're not doing like they're not getting the kind of third party exclusive things put onto their consoles that I'm looking for. Like so that's why it's not it's just not doing it. It didn't do it for me.
And that's fair. That's fair.
But I do have to say though, like with everything that's going on as far as their studios and things that are going, like I'm definitely way more interested in what PlayStation's doing this generation than I think I have been in a long time. So
yeah.
You know what?
Right.
I would like a new Astrobot.
Yeah, I mean I still got to play the VR one, but I really like the idea of that.
Hey Pat, have you played Astrobot? Why am I forgetting the name of the one on the PS5 right now? Have you played that one? Yeah, that is amazing. That is a wonderful game.
That was phenomenal. It's a tech demo, but it was a solid game.
Yeah,
and that's why I think they should try and actually make a real game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how you mentioned that because I do believe they did come out and say like they're done with the Astrobot stuff for now. That's they didn't say that Astrobot wouldn't show up in the future, but right now they're done with the Astrobot stuff.
Well, I wonder if it's just they're waiting until the new PSVR stuff. Like if we're gonna get an Astrobot with release of that again, kind of like they did with the original PSVR.
I think best case scenario, they're going to use that as like a free tech demo that they can technically bundle a game with some piece of hardware. Which, I mean, makes sense.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to our last segment here. We're going to play a game, guys.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're gonna play video game 20 questions. It's gonna be a good time. Okay. Speed round, though, because
do it.
Not gonna lie, I'm kind of tired. I'm gonna cry a little bit. So the rules are simple. You have 19 questions, and your 20th question has to be a guess of the game. If you guess early, the game is over. If you guess wrong, the game is over. So. Let the questioning begin.
What console is it on?
The other rule is it has to be a yes or no question.
Oh, okay.
Oh, damn.
Well, that wasn't a question then.
Okay. The obvious question: is it an action title?
Yes.
Okay.
Does
anyone want
action in
it? Wait, don't hold on. We're not doing this tonight. Hold on. is the genre defined as action?
The genre is action adventure.
Okay, good enough. All right. anyone got the next question?
Has the game had a recent release being defined as the past 3 years?
Like a re-release or like a original release?
I would probably define it as a, I guess I think you're giving away more. I would say any release, any type of official release.
This
could
game
be a remaster, or could
this
be...
game has had some sort of official release in the last 3 years. Yes.
Okay.
No, not the last 3 years. The last 5 years. I'll give you that though.
Okay.
Joe tricked me on that. Maybe I overthought the question. Oh no, I gave away some answer.
Nothing compares to the one, LeRon, when you were doing it that one day, and I'm like, I was asking the question.
So just to clarify, the original release has not been in the last 5 years, but it has had some sort of official re-release in the last 5 years.
Okay.
Is this a Nintendo title?
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I have a chance at guessing this one then.
You do.
Okay, what was that? Question number 3, right? That was question number 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Joe, what was your question again?
It had a remaster or re-release that came out about 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. That kind of disarmed my question. So my question is not valid. So I don't want to ask it and risk a strike.
Is this a PlayStation title?
This game did appear on a PlayStation console.
Okay.
Oh, I'm definitely in here now.
Yeah, see, that's what I was trying to think, is like if they're what to ask to see if it's like an exclude, like
He didn't ask if it was exclusive. He asked if it
No,
was
I know. No, I'm trying to say that I was trying to think of a question to ask to kind of figure.
Is the developer Platinum Games?
No.
Okay.
Ooh, that was very specific.
Action,
but it took a lot of remakes, action adventure remakes off the table for me. So.
Okay, action adventure is the
genre. It
yeah,
had
yeah.
a remake.
And
it was on a PlayStation console.
At least.
Yeah.
Not on we know it's on a
At least.
PlayStation, not a Nintendo.
Go
All right.
team.
The the
wait. He said it was on PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
I got a
but he
question.
didn't say
But
specifically.
is the question was the question more geared toward, was it a PlayStation exclusive?
No.
No.
Hmm.
The
Is
character.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The character you play as, is it a human?
Yes.
Okay, so it is a humanoid or a human character.
Is the human that you play, is it a male?
Yes.
I was gonna ask that.
I'll be honest, I just made that assumption because let's be fair, there's not a lot of.
Well, 5 years ago, that definitely would have put us in a different space.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know if you guys don't get it. I'm gonna slap all of you.
Slap all of us.
Human.
Male. Remake.
I won't really slap you guys, mostly because you guys are all far away.
Yeah.
But
Does the setting? Oh wait. Gotta think of a better way to ask it because it could be too vague.
Dead air.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to see if we could figure out the setting or whether it's
How many
taking
questions
place
are we
on
up to?
Earth.
6, 7.
Yeah,
seven?
we're six. Six.
Is this game also on Xbox?
Yes.
See? Yeah.
What's on PlayStation?
It's on Xbox. Male character, action adventure game. Xbox.
Well, I'll just ask it. Does this game take place on Earth?
Yes.
Yes.
Is this an open world game?
I hate that question.
Sandbox wise.
Man, this is
Don't
hard.
give it to him. let him.
This is hard to
squirm a little.
answer because it doesn't necessarily take place in a world. If that makes sense. Like not like in the sense of like The Witcher or Assassin's Creed. But you can kind of go anywhere that you want to as long as you have the willingness to go there. If that makes sense. I feel like if I answer that question to the fullest, I'll give some of it away.
I definitely feel like we're at the space now where we're not going to get it, and when you say it, I'm going to feel stupid.
Yeah. The space you play in is pretty open. I will say that.
Okay.
So. You guys are missing some pretty just generic questions. I feel like you should just ask.
I'm drawing a blank as to what to even ask.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
my problem. Is
Yeah.
normally I'm filled with questions, but part of it is I think because I'm tired.
I'm sure
My brain is just not.
I'm sure at
wanting to
least
work
one
with
or two of you, if you just turned around and looked at your shelf, you could find something that is related to this game. Maybe. Maybe not. But
I know not that shelf. Because you said PlayStation.
Yeah, my shelves are pretty empty at the moment. Is this game developed by Ubisoft?
No.
Yeah.
Close, though.
I want to ask a question, and maybe you guys can help me form it. Because I feel like there's an ambiguity that comes to, like, the question of whether or not it was, like, the re-release question, like, is this part of a franchise, or are you talking about a specific title that's older? That's not my question. I'm posing this to the group so that we could form a question.
I understand. Yeah, I get what, like...
I want to know if it's part of a franchise, if this is a specific entry, or if we're talking about a specific old game.
Well, see, that's the thing is, like, like, usually we would start asking, like, like, which console generation it originated in, because anytime you ask that, the person doing this has to specifically say if it's a franchise that it like the original version of that game.
Is this a first person game?
No.
Okay.
So I mean, do we want to try to?
It's a great direction you guys are headed, though. It'll give you a big boost for questions to ask.
Is this game part of a franchise?
Yes, it is.
Third-person action-adventure multi-platform franchise that's seen a release about 5 years
It's in the last
ago?
5 years on a PlayStation and Xbox.
And it's a male hero.
Does it? Okay. Does this? Oh no. Let's see.
Just to remind you, it didn't originally release in the last 5 years. It just had a re-release in the last 5 years. I'm sure one of you has it installed on some sort of device right now. Maybe.
Oh, God. Okay,
Maybe.
Here we go.
Well, hold on. Maybe
science
maybe
fiction.
not. Maybe
Next
not.
question. Oh, wait, what question are we on? What's our number?
I don't know. I thought you were keeping count.
Not me. Not this time.
We're number 2.
I'm gonna say shit.
Yeah.
Let's say 8.
Okay. Is it a science fiction game?
No.
It's not science fiction.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I wouldn't consider it science fiction. No.
But it doesn't take place in a world, and you can go anywhere if you really wanted to.
I don't know how to clarify that question without giving it away.
It's not a sci-fi game.
Fine.
That's weird. He gives
It's
us
not
that,
an
that-
open world game in the traditional sense because it takes place in a building. There. I said it.
And it's not a first person.
No.
We said right. Okay.
Right.
Third person.
Takes place in a building. Male hero.
And it's not. Would you classify this as horror?
No.
Okay.
Dark, but not horror.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I am no help now.
Yeah.
Jesse, you
Dark.
for sure. I'm surprised.
I'm like right now I'm just in thinking mode because I'm trying to piece things together
Yep.
and
same
see
here.
if I come up with anything. But like I said, I'm also tired, so it's
But you said it's also part of a.
It's part of a franchise.
a
Is there-
franchise.
Is there also? Are there other media? I would say more. Are there movies as well?
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
Not.
Okay.
I
Wait.
mean,
He says not. He says not Ubisoft titles. So never mind. That killed my next
the
question.
movies are different iterations of this franchise, but there are movies based on this franchise. Very popular movies based on this franchise.
What the hell?
And you play as humans, so it's not like
What the hell?
it's not Turtle, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That would really suck if I didn't get that. But
Takes place
Popular.
in a building.
I'm sure if you turn on Netflix or something, these movies would be recommended to every single one of us.
Jesus. Why am I blanking so hard
Netflix,
right
eh?
I mean, I don't know if it's on Netflix now, but
Oh, well.
because there's 8,000 other streaming services that I could probably possibly be on, but they were on Netflix at one point.
Place in a building. Why?
Why is this so hard?
You guys are making me
Yeah,
very
yeah,
sad
exactly.
right now.
Exactly.
I picked a hard game, and then I was like, no, judging by this panel and who I know who plays what, I'm going to pick an easier game that I know we've probably all played.
That has movies on like streaming services. That really cuts down the amount of games, but what the hell?
Especially if they're good movies.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm thinking. Well, what movie franchise we got? We got Resident Evil.
Which
Monster
is
Hunter.
not.
Monster Hunter just had a game, but that's not it.
Yeah, Tomb Raider, but that's a woman.
Yep.
I think
You also have to think about your time frame on these things as well.
I also think you're leaning
It's
too
part of-
heavily into the video game side of the movies and not the movie side of this video game.
So it's more so a game based on a film franchise.
I mean, not necessarily that either, but it's so hard not to give it away. I feel like crying right now.
Do you fight demons in this game?
No. I'm going to say no.
Okay, so it's not Doom.
No.
'Cause
I mean,
I'm trying to think
there's
of
a-
like movie like type.
There's a weird gameplay sequence where you go into an alternate reality where you fight your inner demons, but it's not.
Your inner demons.
I swear he
Oh.
said that like it was going to be a clue or something.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
They're all
Wait.
clues.
I'm not the greatest. Okay, this isn't anything to you. I'm not the greatest with like the lore and stuff of like the Silent Hill movies and things like that. But
No, it's
There
not a
has not-
horror.
there
It's
has-
not
yeah,
horror.
that's
And there
Yeah.
has not been
Yeah.
and there has not been a recent Silent Hill release that I can think of.
Joe is like,
I'm looking around my room, being like, but most of what I'm around is Destiny, Halo, Star Wars, which is stricken from the record, obviously.
Yeah, because it's not
I have,
sci-fi.
I've Fallout, but there's been recent things of that, and none of that falls in line.
I'm pretty sure I can see something in somebody's room that has to do with this particular franchise. So
God
Okay.
damn it,
Jesse, what-
That's probably me.
Yeah, Jesse, what the
it's
hell
not
is
very-
behind you?
it's not
Jesse,
very
turn around and start looking at things.
it's not very clear. I can't tell 100%, but I'm pretty sure I can see something. Anyways,
It's a guy.
we have
Now,
what
now we
eight,
have a part of this pod.
eight
Now we have
more
a part
questions.
of this podcast where everybody's leaned into their screens.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have 8 more questions, and I guess.
So, films that I see, I think that I see in Jesse's Beetlejuice doesn't have a game. I see
There's
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, which Ghostbusters just had a re-release.
Yeah, but
Zelda, Link.
Yeah, that's not on a Sony console.
I
Yep.
wish I could see closer, because now I'm not 100% sure. I can't see.
See, Corey's wasting their time now.
I'm not wasting your time. I just want somebody to ask a question.
Well, we're getting light on questions, so we can't start throwing whiffs out now.
we could.
PlayStation, Xbox, Male Hero, This
not sci-fi. Recent release, part of a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
more of a movie franchise that video game is now based off of.
Takes place in a building, though.
Also, I don't want to get. I want to help out, but I can't.
It's not.
It's
not an Ubisoft title, or I would have already said Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Wait, and did the Ghostbusters game get a re-release on the Switch in the past 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't.
Is it on the
world.
Switch?
Yeah.
It's on the Switch.
No.
Yeah, it's on the Switch.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Also, this movie franchise didn't start as a movie franchise.
So it's
either.
a video game.
It didn't start as a video game franchise either.
So it started as a damn book.
Or a
But
CD.
it's not The Witcher. I know it's not The Witcher.
Yes, it's not The Witcher.
Well, yeah, like
I'm sorry, I'm drawing
Games
blank.
that have-
I'm drawing
that
blank.
started as like a book thing. Yeah, like literally the only things I can think of right now are Halo and Parasite Eve.
And let's be honest. Like there's
You
like
guys
there's
are making
more.
me sad.
Well, I mean, you're making
the answer.
you're,
That's easy to do.
Wait,
you're making us
Wait.
you're making us sad with this category.
oh, wait a minute. Okay, is the main characters that you play as, is his name Snake?
No.
There's been no Metal
Metal
Gear
Gear
books
movie.
or movies.
Oh, I didn't know if like maybe there was like some kind of comics or something before.
I mean, those
No.
cutscenes are as long as movies, but
Because I mean, the fighting with the inner demons thing, to be honest, as someone who isn't completely 100% knowledgeable about Metal Gear, I could see that being a whole segment where you have to fight your inner demons.
start thinking of things that we talked about during this episode. Start thinking about the good and bad movies. Start thinking about things of that nature.
Can I
Takes place in a building. Is the thing
can I rewind
that-
that? Can I rewind it on the stream? No, I was kidding.
I know like, when he said it takes place in the building, like I feel like that grounds all of our.
Do you want
progress.
me to? Do you want a hint?
I feel like we need a hint at this point.
Yeah.
My mind is just all over the place.
There are a
like-
lot of bad guys in this game.
The one thing that he keeps saying that makes me nothing else falls in line, but I kept thinking of like Dead Rising, 'cause it takes place
Yeah.
in a mall. There's a lot of bad guys.
Not a
And like,
Sony.
there's like the hesitation around horror, 'cause it's not really a horror game,
Yeah,
but there's no movies based on it, and
Exactly.
nothing else
There's
seems to
in
fit.
it.
It is
like
on both
the-
consoles.
Yeah,
Like,
and, like,
it got a release in
There are
2015.
a lot of big name villains in this franchise. A lot.
it makes me think that it's some kind of like. Oh, wait
like
a minute!
superhero.
Wait a minute. What are some of the Batman games? Like, is there ones that doesn't the one take place only in like where you're just in
Arkham
a building?
Asylum.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a recent Arkham game in years though. Like it's
Yeah, but they
been.
just got
But
re-released.
Yeah, but it can't be Arkham Asylum because there's more than just a building.
I didn't say it only took place in a building. I said it mostly takes place in a building.
So
Is it a Batman game?
It is a Batman game.
okay.
There we go. There we go.
Is it Batman Arkham Asylum?
It is Batman Arkham Asylum. Wow, you guys did it great. You did it in 14 questions.
A lot of
I'm
him
sure we
on.
did.
Joe, hold on, Joe. What made you get to that? What what made you get to that? Because because you were talking about Batman games.
I was thinking comic book. It's
yeah.
like
Yeah, and that's why I was thinking with the building, the whole Arkham.
Actually, me thinking about it right now, the last time I turned on Netflix or Hulu, no Batman title came up.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah, he said a while ago.
Yeah,
Batman
Dark Knight
Begins
should
and
be
Dark
on
Knight are
Netflix.
both on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
Are they? Still
Yeah, but they're not. But they're not
I
suggesting.
know a lot of
those.
that is on HBO now.
They're not suggesting that to me. You know what they are suggesting to me? Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff like that.
Oh. Well. Whatever. Okay,
Man.
I just wanted to play a fun game.
It was a fun game.
And you guys
This was
killed
not-
my
this-
spirit.
Fun. I just
This was not fun. I was emotionally abused by this game.
You're gonna have to talk to
I-
HR.
Yeah.
When
When is our HR lady coming back? I need her.
I don't know. I
I
haven't
think
talked
she
to
went to bed. Sorry.
I haven't talked. Anyways.
I can't believe that game is that old.
Arkham Asylum, originally released on the
2009?
Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Get this, guys. In 2009. Gross. And it got re-released in the Return to Arkham collection in October 2016. And then it was
12 years.
there was an entire collection that was re-released in 2019 with Arkham Knight in it as well. So
See, and I didn't know that part, and that's why, I think that just wasn't really coming up because I forgot.
Jesse, it was on Game Pass for like a year.
Yeah,
I know, but
I'll be honest with you. I honestly legit wouldn't have gotten that. There would have had to been more subtle cues about Batman for me to.
I don't have any bet.
I thought that poster next to you was the Joker because I see a white face and green hair.
Oh, over this way?
No, the other way.
Over this way is Joker, but yeah, right here, this is on this side is
That looks like the Stay
Full
Puft
Metal
Marshmallow.
Alchemist.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
This
It looks
is
like
Full
the.
Metal Alchemist.
I see green hair and a white face. It looked like the Joker.
Well, it's green because of my lights.
Oh, wow.
It's funny. I do have a Batman shelf, but it's behind my light, so I can't see it.
Oh, man. All right. Well, man, I either got to retool video game 20 questions or just get rid of it and we'll play a different game next time. But
Or we just talk about less.
yeah, we'll just
talk about
another something. We'll just scrap
Yeah.
whatever. Anyways, I want to thank everybody for watching live on Twitch. Remember, you can catch us every Sunday night here live, or you can catch us on Mondays on podcast services. Pat, thanks for joining us tonight.
Oh, thanks for having me, Corey.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime, as well as the rest of the EXPcast anytime. So, you want to remind everybody where they can find you at, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're anywhere that you can listen to podcasts, but you'll also find us on the Boss Rush Games Network.
yeah. Check out EXPcast. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Joe, where can we find you?
You want to follow my comings and goings, go to Twitter, and I'm at Colonel Panic. That's K3RNL_Panic. And that's where I'll be.
Yeah, check those show notes.
those
There's
show
a link in the
notes.
show notes, everybody.
Yeah.
Promise. Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me almost everywhere as Phantom NXS, including PSN now.
LeRon.
Social media, you can always find me as Exodus803, EXODUS803. That's also my Twitch channel. Please come by and check me out Tuesday night for the Crossroads PlayStation podcast for Boss Rush Games. That goes down on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, it's usually 8 or 8:30. Depends on which guests we have on the show that week. And then come back Wednesday night if you like our warm personality there, and check out me and Galatrad for Monster Hunters, our Monster Hunters podcast, which is called Hunters for Hire. That happens Wednesday nights at 8:30. And I'm typically a fixture on damn near all the Boss Rush shows.
Speaking of Arsenal X, go check out Arsenal X, our Xbox podcast. LeRon and Corey will be on there this week. So
Yeah.
Woohoo!
I was been on 7 shows in 8 days. My throat hurts. You can
left that one wide open for us.
Yeah, I know. You can find me at I am Corey HC on Twitter. You can find me hosting this show as well as Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast, and floating around on some of the other things on BossRushGames.com. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening, and until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Night.